two broke college kids with a failed business idea ended up creating one of the most popular websites in the world. Reddit's history is filled with scandals, lies, money, and death. This is the insane story of Reddit. Chapter 1. A change of plan. Alexis Ohanian was bullied relentlessly as a child, teased about his weight and his name. He found escape in the internet of the late 90s, teaching himself to program and building websites from his parents' basement. In 2001, Alexis enrolled at the University of Virginia to study computer science. But when he met the other students, he felt his skills were too far behind. Afraid of disappointing his family, he switched majors and decided to become a lawyer instead. He spent months preparing for the law school entrance exam, but when the day finally came, his mind filled with visions of a plain suit, a boring desk and mind-numbing contracts. Alexis stood up, walked out in the middle of the exam, and kept walking until he reached the local Waffle House. Sitting over breakfast, he envisioned a different future, one where he was his own boss, building something he actually cared about. He just had no idea what that something was. Chapter 2. The failed idea. Alexis told his college friend Steve Huffman they needed a business idea. Steve already had one. While pumping gas one day, Steve thought, what if you could order food from your phone while standing at the pump so it would be ready by the time you walked in? They called it My Mobile Menu and spent their entire senior year building it. But the technology simply could not support it. Smartphones did not exist. Restaurants had no websites. Nobody understood the vision. Desperate for help, they drove 500 miles to hear a lecture by entrepreneur Paul Graham at Harvard. After the talk, they approached Paul and asked to pitch their idea over coffee. Paul liked them enough to invite them into his brand new startup accelerator called Y Combinator. They gave the interview of their lives and were rejected. Investors could not see how two college kids with zero restaurant connections could pull it off. But Paul called them on the train home. The investors liked Alexis and Steve, even if they hated the idea. They could join Y Combinator under one condition: come up with something better. Alexis and Steve got off at the very next stop and went straight back to brainstorm. Chapter 3. Reddit is born. Paul's advice was simple. Build something for web browsers that solves a problem you face every morning. In 2005, content was exploding across the internet, but there was no good way to find the best of it. Alexis and Steve had an idea. What if anyone could post links and everyone could vote on them? Upvoting what they liked and downvoting what they hated. The result would be the front page of the internet, as determined by the people of the internet. They called it Reddit. With $12,000 from Y Combinator, they moved to Massachusetts and worked day and night, barely sleeping. When they finally launched, they had one problem: no users. So they created hundreds of fake accounts and posted content themselves just to make the site look active. It worked. Real users started appearing. By the end of that summer, Reddit had over 12,000 daily users. They then introduced subreddits, dedicated communities for specific topics, which became the backbone of the site. By 2008, Reddit had 2 million users and 10,000 subreddits. Chapter 4. The Forgotten Founder. Paul Graham introduced Alexis and Steve to an 18-year-old programmer named Aaron Swartz, whose own startup was failing. Paul suggested merging the two companies. Aaron became a co-founder of Reddit with an equal share. The three worked well together, initially adding comment sections and the karma system. But tension grew quickly. Alexis and Steve felt it was unfair that Aaron called himself a co-founder when he had joined 6 months after they built everything from scratch. In 2006, media giant Condé Nast acquired Reddit for around $10 million, making all three founders millionaires overnight. Aaron was deeply uncomfortable with a corporation owning what he believed should be a free platform. His behavior became increasingly difficult, and he was fired in January 2007. After leaving Reddit, Aaron became an activist for internet freedom. But in 2011, he was arrested for breaking into MIT and illegally downloading millions of academic journals he believed should be freely accessible to everyone. He faced up to 35 years in prison. Struggling with severe depression and completely isolated, Aaron was found dead in his apartment at just 26 years old. The internet mourned him as a hero. Reddit quietly removed him from their co-founder page and erased him from their history. Chapter 5. Reddit versus the world. In 2011, Congress proposed the Stop Online Piracy Act, which would have held platforms like Reddit legally responsible for all user-generated content, effectively threatening to shut the site down. Reddit blacked out its entire site for 12 hours in protest. Public backlash was enormous, and Congress abandoned the bill. Internally, Reddit faced constant battles over free speech versus moderation. After several CEO changes and high-profile controversies, original founders Steve Huffman and Alexis both returned to lead the company in 2015 and stabilised things considerably. But controversy continued. In 2023, Reddit announced it would charge developers for API access, the technology allowing popular third-party apps to function. One beloved app called Apollo calculated it would owe over $20 million per year and was forced to shut down. Outraged moderators staged a massive blackout, shutting down over 7,000 subreddits simultaneously. Reddit waited it out, and the changes went ahead anyway, creating lasting hostility between Reddit and its own community. Chapter 6. The final chapter. Reddit is one of the most visited websites in the world, with around 430 million monthly active users. Yet despite nearly 20 years of existence, it has never turned a profit. But Reddit's community has done remarkable things, raising millions for charities, running the world's largest secret Santa exchange. And in 2021, the Wall Street Bets subreddit banded together to drive GameStop stock from under $3 to $483, causing major hedge funds to lose billions and making many ordinary Reddit users extremely wealthy. Reddit's users remain its greatest asset and its greatest liability all at once. Two college kids who walked out of a law exam and drove 500 miles chasing a dream built something that changed the internet forever. Whether Reddit ever figures out how to make money from it remains to be seen, but the front page of the internet is not going anywhere.